So against this Vex, I started dash level 1 to build Fury for my level 2 combo. And at level 2, I wait for her to come close for a last hit, flash so I can dash through her for a reset, stun and chase her with the second dash. So now after level 3, she simply cannot stay near me, so I just hold the wave here to deny her as much farm as possible. My last video showed how to win lane with a strong early game champion. In this video, I will show how to use that early game strength to carry the team. If she comes too close for a last hit, I can dash through the minions to reset the dash, stun through her shield and win the trade. And now next combo I can go for the kill, which I fail, but it doesn't really matter because she's low enough for me to just walk up to her under her tower with the stun. And like I always say, they'll push the wave every time when you're not there. And if you're stronger at this stage, you can freeze the wave here by just last hitting and not pushing it back. Now she's forced to overextend because I would have kept denying her. And I just go back to freezing. This is what you need to do before the dragon spawns. The wave that comes in at 4:30, clear it and recall for the dragon. On your way there, look at the score and identify who you need to kill to win the fight. And when you get there, never position on the front line where they can clearly see you. Always look for an angle to engage. I ultimate early to build Fury. The Varus sees me and changes position, so now I lose my angle of engage. And so from the standard back to front position, you cannot go in first because whoever goes in first is the target of the damage and CC. So in this chaos, I'm free to flash dash stun the Varus before he can react. And the fight is over. Now just turn and clean up the rest. It ends up being a long fight, so we need to reset before they respawn and get back. But my Annie decides to go to my lane for some reason, which I did not notice, so that was my mistake. And also this time I have no ultimate or flash. And my Rammus engages a bit too far away from me and I can't follow up in time. Right now I'm thinking I can turn with my ultimate as soon as my stun is up. But the Varus gives me no time and I get shut down and we lose the dragon. So my team is still behind, but I'm still the strongest champion on the map. So my only objective is to use my strength to get my team ahead. So I respawn and head to mid. I see top lane is overextended, so I make my way to help them out. But it turns out I wasn't needed, but it was still the right move. Now they can push top and I turn back to push mid. I see Morgana being chased, so I cut her off and give the kill to my carry. Two of them are dead and all three of our lanes are pushing. They cannot possibly respond to all three lanes. This is either a free mid tower or free top, whichever one they don't defend. And then again I run straight to my top lane to tower dive with my ultimate and flash and get my bot lane even further ahead. Next, my lane is already pushed, so I look to roam for my team, but the Morgana sees me, so I just push out the wave and carry on to top again. Pushing the wave is important here because now she needs to stay to clear the wave, meaning she cannot follow my roam. So we arrive a little late, but again, it was the right macro move. Recall and save bot. Guard my Jinx from Trinimir just in case. Push mid and then straight top again. I dash through the Gromp for a reset and then just chase them down with flash. Here I didn't have my main cooldown, so I couldn't do much in this fight, but we should have been setting up for the dragon fight anyway. Fortunately, my Annie ends up making a play, so we get the dragon for free. Reset and then head for Baron. Set up a vision around it and look for a fight to force them away from the safety of their towers. And I look for an opportunity to flash engage on someone where my team can follow up. Not the best play, but I didn't want to waste my ultimate. But it ends up working out because my carries are now strong enough to actually carry me. So basically, I used my early game strength to make sure my carries got strong enough to win the late game for me, because I would have lost the game if I focused too much on my own lane while the rest of my team were losing, and they would have kept on losing more and more without me. Next is the game I showed last video where I tower dove the Nasus twice. Another lane I win easily while my team got destroyed, even though I soaked all the jungle pressure from the enemy Lee Sin, which would otherwise be lethal in the early game for my team, but they lost it anyway. So after my second kill on Nasus, I managed to save my ultimate and flash, and at the perfect time to rotate for the dragon. So right now I should be recalling and pinging my team that I'm on my way, but I don't. Instead I stay in lane for a bit of tower damage and then I recall too late. And my jungle Morgana knows that she cannot contest Drake without me because they're too far behind, so instead she goes to Herald. Now I can't go dragon, so I missed the opportunity to help my team make an early comeback. This enemy Jinx may seem strong, but she's nowhere near as strong as me at this stage of the game. So this was a perfect chance to shut her down, secure the dragon, and give a chance to my carries to make a comeback. But instead, the enemy bot lane gets a dragon for free, and my carries remain weak. This is something that will also always happen at all ranks below Challenger. Dragon for Herald isn't a terrible trade, but your bot lane will never be okay with just watching the dragon go down for free, and they'll try contesting it and they will die as well as giving the dragon. So anyway, I go back to my lane and keep bullying Nasus, force him out of lane and get first blood tower. Now I'm finally free to help my team. I'm still the strongest in the game for quite some time, meaning our team is stronger as long as I'm with them. So here, I cannot just try to walk up and dash onto Jinx, because when you're in vision, the enemy carry will just reposition against you. What you do here is, as soon as you get close enough, you either flash dash or protobelt dash, so they don't have enough time to reposition. It's important to use dash after protobelt so you can reset the dash. So I have enough follow up here that there's nothing they can do against my Aurelia, who gets a double kill. My team is still behind and I will still need to make more plays. So here they have 3 dead, Nasus is bot and Lee is low, so the obvious macro move is to take mid tower. I then go back to safeguard my team so they don't all die without me. Push bot, and now I'm ready for the Herald fight with my ultimate.
Danger. Engage.
This was a great fight for me, on top of all of them with my ultimate, alongside backup from my team. And now I'm just hoping that Jinx steps close enough, and she does. Protobelt, dash, stun, and she stands no chance. Next up, Dragon fight. This time I'm even stronger with Flash and Ultimate. And it's actually the ideal situation right here. Jinx is focused on another target, and also I'm most likely out of vision. So it's an easy flash dash stun and she just pops. Now the fight is over, so I chase with my second dash and Protobelt. I keep chasing into tower because my dash stun are almost up. A bit too aggressive with the plant because I'm out of abilities. So I go back and we secure the dragon, and it looks like we've made a comeback. Until I get greedy and I try to sneak their red buff. I see that they see me, so I back off. But again I get greedy for some Krugs and end up giving a massive shutdown. So a complete throw by me, because even at this stage my team is completely useless without me, and they actually end up losing a fight to Jinx. Now I have to give up mid tower and go take whatever gold I can find in the meantime, but they keep pushing for the second tower. So in this situation, you need to look for the angles of engage. You never want to engage from vision. The Renekton should not be engaging alongside his team. What he wants to do is engage at the same time, but from a different angle. So I ult for Fury and wait for my team to catch up so we can engage at the same time. Flash dash stun onto Jinx and the fight is over in 2 seconds. But now here is a massive macro mistake. I needed to either ping Baron or mid inhib, and my team would have followed me because I'm the strongest and I've been making plays all game. So I needed to make a decisive call, but instead I chase Lee. Then I realized that no one is covering other angles and I just start pushing top lane for some reason, and we end up getting nothing at all by the time they respawn. And once again, my team cannot fight without me, and they lose the fight by the time I get there. I make a mistake here by going onto Rakan, and I fail my second dash, so now I have nothing to survive a 2v1. I should have stayed on Jinx, and Aurelia could have possibly turned with me and we could have killed her again. And so without me to lock her down, my team just gets shredded by her and there was no coming back from there. So even though my entire team lost the early game, I won us pretty much all the mid game fights. Yeah, they played the early game terribly and didn't really deserve to win, but did I deserve to win? Well, I could clearly see that Jinx was out of control, and as a Renekton, I knew we could have easily won the early game fights. So this was a perfect opportunity. Nasus was dead and I had my flash and ultimate. So I could have cleared these minions and I should have pinged my team to follow. We would have won that fight and got the dragon. But instead, we give dragon for free, Jinx gets even further ahead. Meanwhile, I go back to my lane and get first blood tower just for myself. Then I finally join team and win us the fight. I saved them from losing a fight, win another fight, win another, and then another. Then another and get a dragon. And then mistake number 2. Staying solo once again, giving a shutdown. And without me, Jinx wins another fight. But then I win us another fight. But waste it because I couldn't make the right macro call. And then they lose the fight before I get there and I make a mechanical error and bad target selection. So in the end we lose and I wasn't even mad at my team because I too made massive mistakes. Now let's see an example of when I do help early. This teamer failed to poke me down enough before level 3 and I almost one-shot him because of it. Now I just wait for my flash stun and I can just dash flash stun, which I almost failed because I flashed too early. I killed him once again under his tower and then got ganked by Rammus, but I prioritized saving my flash and ultimate for the dragon fight.
You have slain an enemy.
So again, I clear the wave that comes in at 4:30 and head straight down. As you can see, my team is getting destroyed and the only 2 kills are on me. I spam ping my team to the dragon and then get there in time to set up an ambush for Jinx.
On my way.
And it's an easy engage. I stay on top of them with my ultimate the entire time. So if you have any sort of follow-up with your engage, you will always win the fight for your team in the early game. So I turn for the dragon ASAP. My stun is almost back up and so I go at an angle to stay out of his vision and stun the Yasuo.
Middle turret is under attack.
Next fight, I see that they are starting Herald, so I try positioning for the fight, but the Jinx sees me and she thinks she's in a good position alongside her team. So again, I ult on top of her and despite the exhaust, my early game damage with the ultimate is just way too much. Look at how much magic damage Teemo takes from just my ultimate. Another stun and now my team can follow up.
You are dominating.
In the early game, you can even walk up to a champion under tower because your stun makes for an easy follow-up from your team.
You are godlike. Enemy turret destroyed.
Next, I push mid and I see them running towards mid. But remember, you shouldn't try to engage from vision. So I set up ambush and ultimate early to build fury for the empowered stun. Dash to the backline, stun Jinx, and then chase them down with my second dash.
You are legendary.
But don't forget, you are not a tank, especially without your ultimate. It should be an easy win from here as long as you don't throw.
Shutdown.
The next dragon fight, I tried to stay out of vision and look for a flank to their back line. As soon as their Ramis is out of the picture, I engage their backline, get a kill, chase Jinx away, and then turn to help team and get the dragon. So this game I successfully stopped the Jinx from getting out of control and helped my carries into the late game, so it should be an easy game from here as long as you don't try making hero plays away from your team. I could have one-shot this Jinx, but the exhaust blocks my damage. You should always be looking for engages from an angle whenever you have follow-up nearby. If you don't have an angle, then try to follow up someone else's engage, rather than engaging yourself straight from the front line.
Victory!